It's the Rise and Hive podcast with Liane and Melissa. It's the Rise and Hive podcast with Liane and Melissa.
And welcome to the Rise and Hive podcast with me, legendary Liane.
And me, magnificent Melissa, where connection, laughter, gratitude, and a few golden nuggets are always on the menu.
And welcome to our midweek pick-me-up episode of Question of the Week. So last week's episode, Melissa, was all about Yorkshire puddings. We've had a bit of a theme, haven't we?
Food related. Food related.
We have been big on the food over the last few weeks. As big fans of the food, we have been quite food related and leaning towards a Sunday dinner type of, the talk about the potatoes the week before, leaning into roast potatoes where they fit within a Sunday dinner. But then last week was all about Yorkshire puddings. Do they belong on anything other than a roast beef dinner? Where do they belong within a Christmas dinner? Are you having them at any other time of the week, year? What meals are you having them on? We wanted to know the key things, and people have been talking.
The listeners have spoken.
What have they been saying? What's the words on the streets? What are your streets saying, Melissa?
Well, so Melissa, another Melissa, not me, she was telling me that her husband Mark, they love Yorkshire puddings and they will have them with anything. Although she did say not on a Christmas dinner because the plates are too full. So they've got too many things. They've got
Get a second plate, Melissa. Side plate.
Yeah, that would be my view. Stick them in the middle of the table.
We don't need problems. We just need solutions, Melissa.
I was like, we have a lot of food as well, but we've got to have the Yorkshire pudding. But what Mark has been doing, he has been trialling different Yorkshire pudding recipes.
Oh.
So he is the cook in the house. He's got his own allotment. So he has a lot of fresh food on the go as well. And basically, he will try different recipes because there is the one, and I've heard this, where if you make the batter, leave it in the fridge for so many hours beforehand.
Yes.
He'd even had a one where make it the day before and trial it. So he's been trialing different recipes. I'm here for that.
And do we have any feedback?
So I said to her, and has he nailed it down? Has he got the one? And her feedback was yes. So she is always about a homemade Yorkshire pudding batter. Full-on Yorkshire puddings with everything well except Sunday Christmas lunch.
But I'd like to know the recipe that is the winning recipe. Did we not do it?
Well,
did you not do the full?
I didn't, and I'll tell you why. We were walking from London King's Cross to a venue, and we had about 20 minutes, and there was me, Melissa, and Paul, a full-on conversation here, and we were flitting between potato crack and Yorkshire pudding crack.
Unacceptable. This is a call to action.
Mark, I'm going to go in. I'll find out if Melissa's listening, but no, I'll reach out to her.
Melissa, write in, please. Join us at theriseandhive.com if you wouldn't mind emailing in with the recipe so we can share it with the listeners, because the listeners will want to know.
Good point. That I was a little bit useless there, wasn't I?
Half a story.
What it was. It's not
you
like
weren't useless. You just as ever, you never got the full story.
I was going to say, Liane, it's not like us. You're right. I'm not going to be unkind to myself and call myself useless. That's not the language that we use.
That's
in
not
this podcast.
How we speak to ourselves. I'm going to call you useless.
Thank you. I knew I could rely on you. But I'm going to be kind and be like, we're not fact checking. We might not come back with all of the facts. It might be a bit woolly, a bit like, what
makes us us.
But exactly. We're not pretending to be anything other than legendary Liane and magnificent Melissa.
Exactly.
So there we go. So yes, we did have a bit of feedback on the frozen Yorkshire puddings. And Melissa did also. I'm just going to revert us back because we had the potato crack. When I asked her favourite type of potato, I don't think I said the question very well, and she came in with sweet potato. She was the first and only person who was fed back on sweet potato.
Well, Catherine told me her daughter is a big fan of the sweet potato, and I don't know why we're punishing ourselves for these sweet potatoes. Now, I don't mind a sweet potato. I don't mind one, but do you know what? Diet culture. I think I'll take us down a little rabbit hole here. It led us to believe a few years ago that sweet potatoes were better for us, healthier, better, and people eat them to be healthy.
Yeah.
And I think, and actually, when you look at it, the nutritional value is the same.
Yeah.
Calorie content is the same. If anything, a sweet potato might have slightly higher calorie content. Unverified information,
I think
obviously.
you may be right, though. I think you are right.
There's not much in it. So go for what you prefer. And for years, I would eat the thing that I'm meant to eat that is healthy, but I wouldn't enjoy it as much. And I prefer just a humble jack of potato. Now, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy a sweet potato, a sweet baked potato, but I prefer a regular one. And I think you should just eat what you want rather than I'm eating this because it's healthy. So
it's a balance, isn't it?
it's a
That's
balance. It's about
yes.
balance. We have just eaten Marks and Spencer's
Crusted
outrageously chocolatey crusted cream, and we do have Victoria sponge and a Biscoff. And a Biscoff muffin to come back to. But it's all a balance. It is balance.
It's the weekend.
It is the weekend. Yes.
That's the times when you can just, you know, go a little wild.
Go a little while. So I did take us on a little diversion set about sweet potato.
That's
but
what
yes,
we're here for, Liane.
we
We're
like a
here for
little.
it.
We like a little rabbit hole. But yeah, most people are preferring the normal humble white potato over a sweet
Yes.
potato.
She did explain her rationale behind it. She said that when she was vegetarian for 15 years and she just feels like she potatoed herself out at that point.
Right.
So that was her rationale on it. But I don't mind a sweet potato. But I think when we had the potato conversation, I never even thought about bringing it in because my preference would always be the
regular.
good old white potato. That would
Roasted.
be the thing. Roasted. So yes, yeah. And Paul did also, because I was asking him, he was a roast, loved a roast. And he said it's not the frozen ones. He's not a frozen roast potato person, but he's buying the shop bought pre-prepared ones that are in the fridge. I think you'll know the ones. They come in normally in a foil tray.
A foil tray,
Yes,
because he doesn't want the washing up. He also told me that he's buying the pre-packed mashed potato as well. There's no point.
Yes,
there's
yes,
no
he did.
point boiling a pan of tatties for two people. And I was like,
Yes.
hey, I'm boiling a pan of tatties for one person, Paul.
Yeah. See, this is the thing. These are the things that we're also finding out. We're finding out, you know, are people making things from scratch? Are they doing a bit of the prep? There's no judgment, by the way.
There's always judgment. I'm judging you.
And Leanne did tell us that I was like, Paul, I'm not judging. I was like, I am judging. I am judging.
And you're welcome to judge me back. It's all good fun.
It is, absolutely, it is. But yeah, so there was a lot of good connection went around this conversation around potato.
And about a Yorkshire pudding, was he using a frozen one or one of the ones in the fridges?
Do you know what? I can't remember.
Oh, was it not him?
now can't.
Well, a lot of people are using the frozen or the fridge ones, and we did talk about that. We said, you know, they're not a substitute for the real deal. They are not a substitute for the real deal, but they're passable, and we don't mind them.
No, yes, yeah, they absolutely are there for a good little addition to your meal, especially when you're in a rush, especially when you're in a hurry.
Up a batch.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I asked Liane. Liane's been missing in action from Question of the Week for a few weeks because we normally go for a walk in the morning. Life's been busy. We haven't seen each other. Caught up with her last week and asked her about the Yorkshire puddings. And she went, love, I'd have Yorkshire puddings with fish and chips. And I know
Miss Leanne's crack.
And I knew she wasn't lying.
I love it when you've had a walk with her and you get her in on the stories. I'm there. I'm here for it.
She was enjoying herself a Jersey Royal, which I was like, excuse me? I know your favourite types of potatoes is chips. She said I wasn't clear on the question. What she meant is, how do I like my potatoes cooked? Now, Liane loves a chip. She is a chip girl. So she's got a deep up fryer. And what she said was, I saw her last night.
Yeah.
And what she said is, after me asking her that question, she had to get the deep up fryer out of the garage and make herself a pan of chips. She couldn't stop thinking about them. Danielle also came in. She said she'd listened to Question of the Week on the way to work. All she could think about was, she was like, I've been thinking about it. I've been really giving it some thought. And she was like, I just love chips. I just love chips. So she is a big chip fan. I was like, chips are the best. We do love chips. We are big chip fans around here.
Yeah.
But on the Yorkshire puddings, I think pretty much everyone was coming back and saying there's not a situation really where a Yorkshire pudding wouldn't be appropriate.
No.
People were like fully supportive.
Do you know what would be interesting? I do think that the beef thing is only having it with beef is outside of the northeast. I think as northerners, we do love a Yorkshire pudding.
Yes.
So maybe we need to widen that scope and try to get some feedback with some people, maybe not from the northeast. Because I know my stepmom, I should maybe put this because my stepmom Kay, she does listen. I've got two stepmoms, and no shade here on my dad at all. He's been married 4 times. Kay, who is a massive listener, love. She is like the best thing that ever happened to him. And I tell him that.
Big up, Kay.
Yeah, big up, Kay. She is a beautiful, beautiful soul. I'm very grateful for her. But Sarah, who is another stepmom, when we were growing up as children, she was from Grimsby. She definitely only did a Yorkshire pudding with roast beef. So I do wonder if there's something about the northeast. Maybe we need a little bit more intake in on that.
do write in and let us know. Join us at theriseandhive.com or comment on at the Rise and Hive podcast page on Instagram, or comment on our episode on wherever you listen to your episode from. We would love to know, if you're outside the northeast, are you having Yorkshire puddings only with beef? And if so, why? Crazy behaviour. But I do have a little Sunday dinner update to tell you about. So last week, because we were talking about all of the food, and we were like, oh my God, I'm so starving.
We were drooling over the idea of a Sunday lunch.
We were
like, we need a Sunday dinner. We need a Sunday dinner.
We sort of record over the lunchtime period, and we're like, oh my God, we're starving. And we've just been talking about like roast potatoes, we've been talking about Yorkshire puddings, we've been talking about all of like the delightful foods, and we were starving. You went off and got yourself a takeaway Sunday lunch.
Did.
And I manifested it because Liane O'Shea knocked me one out. She made me a plate up later on in the night. So I was winning, loving life there. But me and Liam went out on Wednesday night, and he said to me, Liane, I've been thinking I'm gonna surprise you with something on Sunday. And I was like, all right, tell me more. And he said, and he was going to do it as a surprise, but he can't hold his own water, and he got excited. And he told me about it. He said, I'm gonna make a Sunday dinner now. And I'm saying, well, how are you going to manage that? Because we're recording the podcast. And he said, well, you don't have to have it at 12 o'clock on the dot with a glass of sherry, you know. and
now there's a question. Who's having a glass of sherry with the Sunday lunch?
I don't mind a glass of sherry, you know. I feel it's underrated. And not something I've had in about 30 years. But I would take a glass of sherry. And I was very confused because, you know, there are 3 people in our marriage, Liam being the third wheel. And so when he was talking about this Sunday lunch that he was going to make, I assumed it was for us. And turns out it was not. It was.
He was making a lunch for just you, husband and wife.
Yes.
I'm going to ask him why I was excluded.
I know. Well,
I might have a bone to pick with him.
Because I was thinking, well, I said, how are you going to do? Because we have an open plan, like living room, dining room, kitchen. So it's not like you can shut the door and go in the other room. If he was making a Sunday lunch, you would be able to hear it, even with the, you know, drowning out the mics and stuff like that, and the background noise, you would be able to pick it up. And I was like, I don't think this would work very well. And Liam's never made a Sunday lunch before in his entire life, but he wanted to do it for me. He was like, I'm going to make you a Sunday lunch. But I'm thinking he was making one for me and you. And I was saying, well, would you not be better off just taking us out for lunch? And then he was like, what are you on about? And then I realised he wasn't on about making us a Sunday lunch. He was on about making us as in making him a Sunday lunch. So I was like, oh. So anyway, he went and bought the ingredients yesterday. Now, I don't know what I'm getting on this Sunday lunch. So he came back, and we had all of my friends around, and he came back with these massive shopping bags, spent 50 quid. It would have been cheaper to take me out on all of the ingredients. So he presented a butternut squash, and we were all going, what are you going to do with that butternut squash? And he said it was for the Sunday lunch, and we were all going, it was butternut squash on the Sunday lunch. Now, don't get me wrong, I like a butternut squash, but I've never had one on a Sunday lunch. And then he had chat of roasted red onion, and everyone's like, is he making like a Mediterranean Sunday lunch? Again, I love red onion, love roasted onion, I'm here for it. But then I'd also told him I love a mushy pea. Yeah, I am a big fan of a mushy pea, and I think they belong on a dinner. They do belong on a dinner. Now, I know it's maybe a controversial one, maybe a topic for another question of the week, mushy peas. But I'd said, we have some frozen mushy peas, which are a game changer because you can just do a small amount and cook them up. So he said, well, you said you had the mushy peas. So I'm thinking, butternut squash, mushy peas.
Red onion.
Mushy peas, roasted red onion.
So he's making this dinner today then?
Apparently so.
So we're recording at...
I think it's going to be for tea time.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Because it's 1:10 now.
Yes.
And I don't see any prep.
No. And I did go and wake him up this morning because we had a bit of a late night last night with having people around. And I went and woke him up because I knew you were coming shortly. So I was like, are you still making the Sunday lunch? Because I feel like you need to set off now if we're going to have it next Sunday, because he's not a natural cook. He doesn't cook. So he's...
lush though. Love this.
I know.
Liam, you're lush.
But... I'm not getting the real Yorkshire puddings. I think he felt that was a bridge too far. So I'm getting the Aunt Bessie's, but
no,
still grateful. But I will report back about how the Sunday lunch went with me butternut squash, me mushy peas, and me roasted red onion.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, how lush though that he's like.
Well, not for you. You're not getting any.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll have a word with him about that. I'm like, where was my invite? But how lush that is though. I'm going to make Liane a dinner. He's never done it before. He's been out, bought the stuff. No. We're here for it. That is lovely.
Well, I will report back. I will report back and
Yeah.
Let you know how we go.
I went, so after we recorded last week, I was like, I'm getting a Sunday lunch, and you told me of a little cafe in Spennymoor that did Sunday lunches, and I went in and ordered it while I then quickly did a little supermarket dash and then went and picked it up, took it home, and I sent you a picture of it because I was like, look at what I've got.
It did look
There
good.
was mushy peas on it.
I
There
know.
was mushy peas on that dinner. So yes, it was.
It looked good.
It
And
was
the
a
Yorkshire
good
pudding.
and the Yorkshire
Oh, was
pudding.
there 2 Yorkshire puddings?
No, just one.
Oh, I got 2.
Oh no, there might have been 2.
I got 2
There
and my
might have
one
been
from
2.
Leanne. I
There
was
might have
very
been
grateful.
2, actually, I can't remember, but
My one from Leanne
it
had
was
3
good.
types of potato. It had roast, it had mash, and it had dauphinoise.
Right.
Yes. And 2 Yorkshire puddings. It also had leeks and tender stem broccoli. I was very, very grateful. It was fine and divine.
And you weren't sharing that dinner with Liam either, were you?
Absolutely not. Well, she brought it round for me dad. So I go around my dad's on a Sunday, and she sometimes pops around to see me dad too and see me. And she bought a dinner and she went, I've got enough for one person. And she was like, Steve, do you want a dinner? Now, my dad always does himself a Sunday dinner. So his will have been prepped. Was prepped well before we got there. And I was like, never mind him. And literally just before she'd arrived, me and my dad were sat there saying what he's saying to me. We love a bit of glory of the ordinary crack. So every day we're like, what are you having for your breakfast? What are you having for your tea? We love a little bit of that. And he just said, what are you having for your tea? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I haven't done any shopping. And I was saying how you'd had a Sunday dinner. And I was like, I don't know what I can knock together. And then, as if by magic, Liane appeared at the door with a plate of Sunday dinner, and she said, "Steve, do you want this dinner?" And I was like, "Never mind him. She went, "You can fight amongst yourself." And I was like, "I'm taking the dinner, thank you, please. My dad has got a freezer full of stuff," and he was happy for me to have it. I wasn't just taking the dinner from my dad, but he had his dinner sorted. And Nikki, my brother's wife, she often sends over like dinners and stuff like that, so he gets a lot of dinners sent. People are not sending dinners my way.
No one's sending dinners my way either.
No.
And Liam isn't even including me in. Who do I write to? Where do I send the complaint? My stepdad's not making them. Liam's not making his one. Anyone want to make us a Sunday dinner?
Let's put it out there. Would anyone like to send a Sunday dinner in the post? But yes, I think fundamentally the summary of last week's question of the week is everybody loves the Yorkshire pudding. I don't think I met anyone who doesn't like it.
No, I would agree.
So are you ready for this week's question of the week?
Hit me, baby.
So
hit me.
Taking it away from food because it keeps making us hungry.
Yes.
So when you go on holiday, when you arrive at your destination, do you unpack immediately or do you live out of the suitcase? What are you doing?
Well, I think we've mentioned I've got a moniker in me. There is, regardless of that, I may have lowered my standards in certain areas and I actually just think it's become more relaxed about things. And actually, I'm here for that. We don't want to be all tight-assed all the time. I'm here for being relaxed. But the moniker in me, she ain't living out of a suitcase.
No.
Absolutely not. I have arrived at places doesn't matter what time of the day that is, I am there unpacking that suitcase, because one of my favourite sayings that I always try to live by is, do the thing that future Melissa's going to thank you for, and do that thing. And when 2 years ago, when Chris and me got to Florida, we arrived, I've never seen rain, this storm that was like hitting, like when we arrived, it was unbelievable. I don't know how the Uber driver was driving in it. We're sitting in the back of the car. It was dark. It was wet. We'd flown. It was miserable. It was none of this that when you arrive somewhere and you get off the plane and it hits you and you're like, I've arrived. I'm here. No, it was awful. And we gets to the hotel and the hotel was dark, and it was like, we stayed on International Drive for part of the holiday and then moved over to Universal Studios. And I was like, in my head about this room, everything. And we were tired because of the time, although it's 5 hours, but at that point, they're behind. So it would have been then like about, say, 10 o'clock at night. And at this point, I'm just like, I just think I should go to bed, and tomorrow's a new day and it'll be better. But I made that conscious effort of unpacking everything, doing everything. And the next morning I woke up and I was like, yes, I'm in Florida. I'm here. So grateful. So it does not matter what time it is, that 30 minutes to sort your life out. I'm here for that. That's there and I'm doing it. However, I have got people in my life who are not living by the same rules.
And they live in feral.
They live in feral. Yeah. And I've been very fortunate that when I've gone away on girls' trips, that I've never been with anybody, but I've been in some of the other girls' rooms and I'm like, fuck me, I don't know how you
how are you living? You're like animals.
I'm like, the room is just like a chaos of 3 women and everything everywhere. And actually, she has improved, but my cousin Cassandra, she is wild because she goes on holiday and basically her whole thing is, I'm on holiday now, I'm doing nothing. So
And
she
that
actually-
involves unpacking.
yeah, and it's like nothing, and she'll live out a case. And when she started going on holiday with her partner Graham, he like lines his shoes up. He is like, and so the first time they'd gone away together, she fed back me and she was like, he made us feel so guilty because I was like, I'm just living out the case, and he's there. He's hung everything up. He's got everything coordinated. He really likes nice clothes as well. And he did pay for it. They went somewhere for our 40th birthday, and they had a butler. She went, it made us feel like I had to make sure that I had to tidy up before the butler was coming in, so she was having to tidy the bed. But when we were in Ibiza, we you know, when you pay for your air conditioner or whatever, we got this remote, and you only got your deposit back if you handed the remote back in or something ridiculous. So I ran back to the room, which was the room that my sister and like our Melanie and Cassandra was staying in, and our Melanie had said to me, our Cassandra's just like literally, she is in holiday mode. And I got in the room, and I'm like, the cleaners are going to come in and think, she's left half the stuff. What's happened? Like, it was just stuff, and basically what she'd done is she'd done a Shein haul before we'd gone to Ibiza, just bought all these things and went, well, I'm just leaving them because I've just paid virtually nothing for them. And the room, there was just stuff everywhere, all over the room.
This is after you checked out?
This is after we've checked out. I've gone back to the room. So sorry, Cass, that I'm like, yeah, calling you out this. She's gorgeous, inside and out. Love you to bits. Love you. But, and I don't know if she listens either.
Well, this is one way to find out when we chat about people.
Yeah. But, so that's like wild. She's like, when she's gone away, and I've been very fortunate in rooms where people are at least sticking to
civilized.
Yeah. Because I'm like, how are you managing this? How are you living like this? What about you?
Well, me and Liam are both strictly unpackers as soon as we arrive.
That's good that you're aligned, mind.
Aligned.
Good. This is a good question. This is a very apt question. For anybody here,
we are in our matching.
We're in like matching holiday attire.
Yes.
Really, we're getting it's coming up. It's summer, baby. We're getting in the groove, and you are about to go on your holiday as well.
I am. In fact, when this is released, I will be in Palma Nova, Mallorca.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said it like that. Is that how you? I don't know. But yes. So when this is released, I will be on my hollybobs. So yes, as soon as we get there, we just crack on. And again, same as you, no matter what time, our future selves will thank us for it. We like to get organised. Liam always gives me the best side of the wardrobe and the lion's share and things like that. So I'm like, right, what do I need? And then I'm like, I'd like these drawers at the top, and I'd like you to put your pants and socks in that sort of cupboard under the stairs over there or something. Like, I'd like you to suffer the inconvenience, but he always does. But yes, we get that done. But the reason this was one of the questions of the week this week was because our friends Jo and Lee, they've just got back from a cruise, and Jo is an unpacker upon arrival, whereas Lee, her husband, he just all he did was take out his suit jacket, because on a cruise you have a formal evening. So he took out his suit jacket and hung it up, and then he was living out of the suitcase. And I was like, oh my God, how did you cope for? No, they weren't there for a fortnight, it was a week. But I don't know how you cope. When we went to the wedding in the Cotswolds about 6 weeks ago, we stayed in the wedding venue for 2 nights, and then we had to move to another hotel. So we didn't really fully unpack. We kind of half unpacked, but we literally arrived and we were straight into the evening celebrations. Because if you remember, we had a bit of a diversion on the way down, so we didn't arrive in good time. So, and then the next day it was like into the wedding. So we didn't fully unpack in the way that we would like to. And I was like, I can't live like this. We had a gigantic room and we had a walk-in wardrobe. So we hung our sort of dress and suit and things like that up. So we did hang that up, but we didn't sort of...
It creates chaos, doesn't it?
It does. I was like... And we had a really big room where the bathroom was as you walk through the door, and then there was a long corridor, and I just constantly I must have done about 25,000 steps just walking down that corridor trying to find things where it was packed in other areas of the room. I found it very unenjoyable to be living in that chaos. I don't know how people cope. I like to just have everything in a place, and then I know where things are.
And I would be interested, the people, and I've never asked anybody, so here we go, where are they putting their clothes, the dirty stuff? Because what I do, my case is empty.
Oh, we have a. So what we do?
Yeah.
We have the washing basket suitcase.
Yes, so that's what I
Yeah.
do. So I'm using, and I'll have normally a bag to put certain things in. Do you know what I mean? If
We
you've
just
got, like,
we
you've
keep
got,
the zip on. We take 2 suitcases. Obviously,
yes.
one of them is the washing basket one. So we just keep the zip, and then we just pop
Yeah.
pop it through the letterbox.
Yes, and that's what I do.
yeah.
So, but what are the people
Oh,
doing
right.
non-unpacking? What
Where-
are they doing with that
Where are you putting your
dirties?
dirty knickers?
Where's your dirty knickers?
Lee, where were your dirty
Right,
knickers?
so here's something else then, and going back to the Lee and Joe story. So thank you for sharing this, Joe. I've not been on a cruise, but I'm imagining the rooms on a cruise on the boat. They're not very big.
So you have space under the bed for your case. So that's where you store
right,
the case.
so he's literally just having it in there and having to pull it out every time he's wanting to get
He was having to
dressed.
lift it out every time.
Oh,
I was like,
see?
oh my God.
How stressful.
I know, painful. He was quite pleased with himself, I think. He was quite pleased. But not only that, like, everything be creased.
Yes,
Because-
well, that's it. Once you've hung something up, at least you
Yeah.
know that it's getting...
Well, Liam
getting-
always irons all of his clothes before he goes on holiday, and he has got a new rolling technique, but I don't know if it works or not, but generally I don't really bother doing that much ironing before holiday because I think it's going to be creased when we get there.
Is this the first time Lee's ever done this sort of behaviour?
No, I
Was
think
Joe surprised by that, or is it that just come up in the conversation?
I
just to ask
don't
him?
know. I don't know actually. And I know. I suspect this is how he lives his life. I suspect it's how he lives his life. I think he has a chair in his room, again, unfact check, unverified, like a floor wardrobe. Where he just piles his things on. I
Yes.
feel like he's got one
Yes.
of those situations on the go,
Yeah.
but I might be making this up. But Liam used to do this. He used to pile all of his stuff at the end of the bed. And I'm like, what are we doing with this? Everything he'd worn over the week would be piled
Yeah.
up. But now he has taken a lot of his stuff into his room. So we both have a room each. I've got a dressing room. He's got his, I don't know what you would call it, but like he has his PlayStation.
Like his man cave,
Little
really,
man
isn't
cave.
it?
He's got
Yeah.
that. But now
Everybody should have this space to themselves.
they do.
I'm
They
here
should.
for
And
it.
he leaves. He gets ready in there. So that's
Yeah.
where he leaves his shite.
Uh-huh.
I'm over the moon with
Yeah,
it.
and it means you can't see what he does in there in that space.
It's
That's
none
his
of my
business,
business.
None of your business.
But I do have a little bit of a floor drop situation where I put my gym leggings. So we have at the end of our bed we have a little ottoman. That for the dog, because now he's 13 today, by the way.
I know. Happy birthday, Hank.
Hank.
He's so
He's
handsome.
13 today.
I know.
But he's a little old man. He's a bit blind. We have a little night light for him that comes on when it's like a motion censored because he struggles to see in the dark.
Yeah.
And we have an ottoman at the end of the bed, which bridges the gap for him to jump onto the bed. So like he jumps onto the ottoman and then onto the bed. And so at the side of that, there's like a little alcove where I just use my floor drop. So I'll just pop my stuff there. And even though I don't enjoy Liam using his side because it's visible from the door, whereas my side is not visible from the door, I have double standards.
Yeah. And you know, when you think about gratitude, I always think, oh, I'm grateful I haven't got a man leaving stuff all over my bedroom floor.
Because I'm leaving enough myself.
But then there's times that normally I'm very tidy, but if I'm rushing out the house and I'm leaving things lying on the floor, I'm like, but it's okay because nobody's judging me on that. It's
Nobody
only
is
mine.
judging.
It's just mine.
Just you and
mine.
your own floor drop.
Yeah.
But I'd be interested to know from people, what are you doing when you get on holiday then? So are you unpacking straight away? Are you living out of the suitcase? Where are you putting your dirty washing if you're living out of a suitcase? Lee, you're going to need to write in and tell us because we need to know that information.
Yeah.
Where did he put his dirty clothes?
Yeah.
I can't even begin to imagine.
I know.
What would he have done? What do people do?
Well, people will be getting into holiday season now.
Getting into
Come
the
on,
spirit.
get this conversation flowing with your colleagues, with your friends. But you know, you said you had friends around last night.
We were talking about
And
question of the week.
crack was all about question of the week. And that's the thing, people were still, prior episodes, were still talking about them.
Oh, we even went back to the towels. We went back to the original startup question. We were talking towels last night because I hadn't seen Jenny Cook I haven't seen her since Christmas, so I've not seen her since we launched the podcast. So we went through the full repertoire
amazing.
of questions. We went through the full
Thank you,
lot.
Jenny, for
Yeah,
being here and being a supporter.
it was a dinner party.
Question of the week. Do you know what? Maybe that's what you could start having question of the week dinner parties and just bringing all the questions of the week.
That people could have a little envelope with what is the question, like you start the conversation.
Yeah.
I am interested. How soon before a holiday do you pack? Are you someone who's packed a week in advance, or are you a packer on the day?
I am more of a last minute. I'll start thinking about what I'm going to be getting out and things like that, but I'm not having something lying in a case for a week.
No.
There's something in my head around, and I don't know why. It's that them being there folded up for all that time, how creased they're going to get and things like that. I don't know why. But I'm like, no. When people will say, oh, you're all packed.
No.
Why do people ask that question when you're like, just because I'm going on holiday next week, like, oh, so you're packed? No, I've got plenty of time. I am somebody who, but we know that's failed me. That because then if I'm packing lastminute.com and then I don't wear the case, so maybe I need to get a little bit smarter on that. Yes.
I like to pack the day before or the day of, ideally. So depending on the flight time.
Yeah.
Because I use things. I'll be like, I'm using my hairdryer, and then I can pack my hairdryer, or I'm using makeup or like shampoo and things like that. And then toothbrush. So I like to use it and then pack it. I do like to know what I'm wearing outfit wise. So I like a little list of, okay, this is what I'm taking, but I don't like to actually get it out and commit to doing it. I am a day before. Now, our niece, Alex, she is like 2 weeks in advance, cases are packed. I stress the life out of her. She's like, are you packed? I'm like, of course I'm not packed. I think when we went on our last holiday, I can't remember what time we flew. I think it was a morning flight. We'd had a really busy day at work, and I think I finished work maybe at like 6 p.m. And in my head I was like, right, I'm going to pack when I finish work. And I was like, I need a glass of wine, get into holiday zone and like decompress. Packing is not on my radar. So at 10 o'clock at night, and we had to be, I don't think it was a mega early flight, but it was like we maybe need to leave the house at like 8 o'clock or something. But at 10 o'clock at night, we still hadn't packed. And I was like, I just don't want to do it. I'll do it in the morning. And Alex had messaged saying, are you packed? And we're like, nah. She's like, oh my God.
Wild.
Why do you live like this? It gives her real anxiety how me and Liam live our lives, because we're just last minute. We don't really plan. She is like the complete opposite. And we do cause her quite a significant amount of stress when she hears how we go on. But it's just how we are. But we go away on Saturday. We will be packing. It is an early flight, so we will be packing Friday evening once we finish work. I'm not even going to pretend to think that I'll be packing before then.
No, here first.
There we go. But that concludes it, I think.
Yeah.
So we want to know all about it. What are you doing when you go on holiday? How are you packing? How are you unpacking? Where's your laundry going? Tell us all about it. Talk to your friends, talk to your colleagues, talk to your family, and let us know. Get in touch at the Rise and Hive podcast on Instagram, or join us at theriseandhive.com. We want, via email, we want to hear from you.
We do. And have a fabulous rest of the week, guys.
And lots of love.
Lots of love.
It's the Rise and Hive podcast.